Hello everyone, LadyDewinter here. Today we're in the kitchen. We're harvesting my onions and we're going to do something with my tomatoes over there. Not those. The ones in the little container right here. We're going to do something with those today. So, now, when I harvest my vegetables, this is green onions and they're fresh out of the garden. I just picked them. Okay, so when I harvest my veggies, I simply do this. And green onions taste best when they're cut in little bits like this and thrown into dishes or sprinkled on top to make the dish look nice. And all I do is I take my kitchen scissors and I cut them up. Now I got a freezer bag in the freezer, which you'll see in a few minutes once I'm finished cutting this little onion up, or these little onions up. And that's all you do with green onions. You just, whoops, don't you try to get away from me. You just cut them in little bits, and then you can freeze them. As you see, this little guy was already cut off at one point, so we'll just cut that part off. Make sure to cut off all the bad parts. You don't want the bad parts, okay? You want the green pretty parts, not parts like that. So, yeah, we'll cut that off. And yeah, whoops, they're trying to escape. I just cut them up like this. Now, we're big onion lovers here. We both love onions. So, you know, we all love onions here. All my kids love onions. So, and that tip looks good. As you see, that tip is a fresh grown. So we'll include that in our onion batch. So, and you just cut like this, and that's all you do, folks, is you just cut them like that, and then you can store them in your freezer. That's the beautiful thing about onions. You don't have to process them. I do recommend you wash them first, like I did mine. That's why they're all on a towel over here. I do recommend that you wash them first, and you just chop them up like this. And there's a bad tip on that, so I cut that off. There you go, fresh green onions. Now, let me show you what to do with those fresh green onions. In my freezer, I have baggies, freezer baggies, marked. And all I do with this stuff is I just simply go like that. All that goodness gets into the baggie. It freezes. And then when you need a little bit, all you have to do is take it out. I try to squish the air out, of course. Squish the air out. Close your baggie and put it back in the freezer. That easy. Now, for the tomatoes. Now, I'm going to rinse my tomatoes off, which I've already done, but I'm going to show you. Oh, this one's split. Dang it. I'll try to cut that part off. We'll cut that part off. Okay? Oops, I missed an onion bit. Oh, well. No, that's an end. We don't care about that. We'll throw this away into our compost jar, which we keep here, close at hand. Well, we can get the stuff off, okay? Okay, now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist these little tops off, that right there, and then I am going to throw that in there. Put that back there, pull out my handy dandy cutting board, and set that one there. I'll rinse that one. Twist the top off of that one, throw it in the compost bin. That one's already been twisted off. Set there. Twist this one off, and all you do is just twist. It comes off real super easy. I'll dry my hands. I'm going to get my trusty cutting knife that I love to know pieces. I bought this at the Dollar Tree for $1, guys. That's how quick and easy this stuff is. So I'm going to cut this part off here. And I'm going to cut this part off here. Just this is where the ends are. Compost bin. And yes, I do realize these are cherry tomatoes. You can do this with any tomato. It does not matter what kind of tomato you do this with, okay? Any kind of tomato will work for this. I cut the bad parts out. And all I'm doing is I'm cutting off this tiny...
Right here.
I'm cutting off this tiny little bit right there. That's the end of the stem, and that right there. So, and this is the way I saw someone on YouTube do it. So that's, and they were doing it with full tomatoes though. My tomato plant is no longer, so I'm doing it with these. Okay, now we have our cut tomatoes. Now for our next handy dandy gadget. This is the Vidalia onion chopper. Now, I saw this little gadget courtesy of Living Traditions Homestead. Vidalia Onion Chop Wizard. Awesome gadget. It will chop in various sizes. It's got two different plates, a smaller one than this and this one. And all you do with this, my friends, is put your tomatoes up here like so. Well, I've got room for one more. Whoa! Okay, you set them up in the Vidalia onion chopper and you slam it down and boom, chopped tomatoes, just like that. Let me get that down there. There you go, chopped tomatoes.
We're running on a low battery. Okay.
So then all you do is get your tomato bag out, which I already have one, as you see. Throw those in there. Squish the air out. Seal it up. And throw it in your freezer. Boom. Processed veggies. Thanks for watching, everyone. You're never too old to game. You're never too old to learn. Bye-bye for now. See you next time in Ladies World.